Hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is John, and I'm with Good Burger Reviews, and I'm here to do a brand new 2025 movie review. It Feeds.
Someone digging around in your mind takes a lot out of you.
Hi. Can I help you? I need to speak to Cynthia Windsor. I need help. I see things.
What kind of things?
This movie is a streamer. I've watched it on VOD. It's directed by Chad Archibald. It is starring Ashley Greene, Shawn Ashmore, Ellie O'Brien, and Mark Taylor.
Don't be scared. It's worse if you're afraid.
Alright, with this one, I was quite surprised. So this one was straight to streaming, and it was a blend of a TV show and a movie, both from the early 2000s. Medium meets The Babadook. Now, if y'all don't remember the TV show Medium, that starred our little Elm Street girl, the Dream Warrior, Kristen. She grew up to become in a TV show called Medium, and it was a great TV show with lots of spooky elements. And this movie really could have been an episode of Medium, but it was a movie. It was a good, long, drawn-out movie. And I couple it with the Babadook. I almost thought Poltergeist, but it was more of a Babadook feel. And of course, because our main star is a single parent with a child, and they're grieving because they lost their dad. So the mom and the daughter. The main girl is a medium, and her mom, the mom is the medium, and the daughter is like a medium in training, trying to become a medium, but she's not fully there yet when the movie starts. Now, it did remind me of the Babadook because the younger one is the one who kind of gets itself attached to this entity, and this entity is this like beast that likes to feed on people, on their souls, but not only just on their souls, but it's also like a physical feeding as well. This was done quite well actually for a streamer, and believe me, this was actually really scary. There was some really horrific moments, really genuine terrifying moments that I thought, wow, if I was ever in scenarios like this, I think I couldn't emotionally or physically survive it. So mom is like this medium, but she plays like as a psychotherapist. So that's like her main job. And then whenever they have patients that come over to the house, so the daughter vets the patients before mom sees them, and it's kind of a decision is made whether or not the patient needs regular therapy or like paranormal therapy, medium help. The mom's name is Ashley and daughter's name is Jordan. And Ashley is like this, probably like one of the most interesting or most impressive mediums that I've ever seen in these shows. Like, a lot of these movies have like the medium or the people that can sense things. This girl does really well. I mean, when she comes in, she puts her hand on the center of your forehead and she like experiences your life or experiences her patient's like memories, like in a way, in a format that's just so for real, so surreal to her. And it plays in great into this movie and into this storyline, right from the start all the way to the end. A little girl who seems panicked and nervous shows up at their door and wants to talk to Ashley, the medium, and they're trying to vet her. And when in that process, her dad shows up and he's like crazy. He's like, get out of here, get away from these people, you know, and he's like protecting his daughter, but you know, at first they're a little leery, but they want to help her. And he's like, there's nothing you can do to help her. And just, they run off. Well, Jordan ends up following them and gets involved to find out they're the ones, the young daughter is the one that has this entity at first. attached to her because initially her mom had the entity and passed it to her. So the way this entity is transferred, it's kind of, I mean, this is a neat lore, a little complicated, but so like when you die, if you're being held, when the mom died, the little girl's mom died, she was holding her, and the entity transferred from her to her daughter. And that's the whole premise behind this entity is getting around, and that's why dad is trying to separate daughter from the world. He has her locked in his basement. So they go to get the police involved, but I'm going to bring up this one side character. Her name is Agatha, and she's kind of the reason why how everyone met. She's friends with Ashley and Jordan, but like Agatha was definitely, she was awkward and quirky, but she was the comic relief in this movie, which was a nice blend because overall this movie had a very serious tone, but whenever Agatha was on screen, she was so goofy, the way she was, the way she reacted, and then when they get the cops involved and she tries to create a diversion for the cops, it's quite comical. Agatha at one point I thought was being placed as a red herring. I thought she was going to turn evil, but in the end Agatha was just the comic relief and a good friend to Ashley. And when they get the police involved, this is kind of what really gives me that whole like a medium episode. You know, the police in this movie definitely reminded me of the police from that TV show. I mean, they weren't somewhat generic, but they were, you know, when they get involved, they do their thing. You know, it adds to the story. They're not just bumbly police that, you know, get lost or get killed. They do actually get involved and help in the end resolve to you know, how the movie ends. Now I'm not going to spoil the complete end of what they do to figure out this entity. I will say that the entity itself was quite scary. I thought pretty decent for something that went to streaming and probably had a fairly low budget. Overall, the movie is decent. I was torn about what rating I was going to give it because there was some very basic elements, and then sometimes the acting was a little bit on the nose or just a little bit generic, but also in other scenes it was pretty good. I mean, the story moved along pretty well. Overall, there was like the end of the second act, as we're going into the third act, it starts to lull a bit, but then it picks back up in the third act. I'm going to give this one a good burger, and I think for a streamer, that's pretty impressive. I mean, I just coming off of Field of Screams, which was, you know, a streamer on the same channel that I had watched, you know, that one was rough, and I was almost hesitant to watch this one because I thought, oh no, we can't have, I don't know if I could sit through another one that rough, but this one, well worth the watch. So if you have VOD, I'm pretty sure it's on Fandango, probably Prime, any of those ones where you can pay, you know, $3.99, $6.99 to rent it. It's worth the watch. It's definitely worth the watch. It had great traditional spooks, haunts, the whole nine, tension. It's decent. It ain't groundbreaking, but good. So thanks again for stopping by for us to talk about this brand new streamer. I'm Johnny with Good Burger Reviews. Please give a like, subscribe if you haven't, tap the bell, all that jazz for notifications.
There is something attached to that girl. Something terrible. But we don't know these people. We can't trust them. I'm seeing it. This won't be pleasant. An entity has attached itself to you. It will be the weakest part of your mind, where you hold the most pain.